My fiancée posted on Instagram, family vacation in Croatia, 16 photos. Her ex, her kids, her mom, her sister. 0 photos with my children. When I commented, looks amazing, she replied, it's for our close family. I liked it and replied, congrats, hope you kept the receipts. See, I'd booked everything on my card as a surprise. At 2 a.m., Croatian time, I called the resort. Update the payment method on the booking. By sunrise. My name is Eris. And 3 hours after my fiancé told the internet that Croatia was for her close family, the resort lobby was full of people whispering over who, exactly, was going to pay for 16 ocean view photos and a 7-night family healing package. By sunrise, she found out. The post went up at 9:14 p.m. Family vacation in Croatia. 16 photos. Her in a white linen dress. Her 2 kids grinning on a boat. Her mother holding a wine glass like she personally owned the Adriatic. Her sister making a heart with her hands. And him, her ex, in 4 separate pictures actually. One at dinner, one by the pool, one carrying her youngest on his shoulders, one where they were both laughing at something off camera, close enough that nobody with eyes would call it innocent. What was missing from those 16 photos was just as loud. No photos of my children. Not one. My son and daughter had stayed home with me because, according to my fiancé, this girls and kids getaway had limited space, tight logistics, and too much emotional history for a blended family trip. I had swallowed that because I loved her, because I was trying to be the steady one. Because when you're an aerospace engineer, you spend your life solving turbulence, not creating it. Then she uploaded proof that I was the only idiot who still thought I was part of the family she was building. I stared at the post until my vision blurred. The caption sat there like a slap. Family vacation in Croatia. I commented, the safest thing I could think of. Looks amazing. 2 minutes later, she replied, it's for our close family. I read it 3 times. Close family. I had paid for the flights. I had booked the resort. I had upgraded the rooms. I had arranged airport transfers. I had even added the private sunset excursion because she once mentioned, months ago, that she'd always wanted to see the Croatian coast from the water. All of it was on my card. All of it was supposed to be a surprise. I'd told her I was still sorting summer plans because I wanted to hand her an envelope at dinner the week before departure and watch her face light up. Instead, she had apparently found the itinerary in our shared kitchen drawer, used every confirmation number, and simply replaced me and my children with her ex, her mother, her sister, and a whole performance of Real Family. My hands were so steady it scared me. I hit like on her comment. Then I replied, congrats. Hope you kept the receipts. No emoji, no drama, no accusation. Just that. At 2:03 a.m. Croatian time, I called the resort. A man with a calm voice answered in accented English. Front desk. Good evening. Good evening, I said. My name is Eris Volkov. I'm calling regarding a reservation under Elena Merrick. 7 nights, 4 suites, prepaid excursions. I'm the cardholder. He asked for the last 4 digits, the billing address, the booking reference, and the email on file. I gave him everything. One moment, sir. I could hear keyboard clicks, distant lobby music, the low murmur of a late-night check-in. Then he came back. Yes, Mr. Volkov, I see the reservation. I leaned back in the dark of my living room. My children were asleep upstairs. The house was silent, except for the hum of the refrigerator and my heartbeat. I need to update the payment method on the booking, I said. There was a pause. I'm sorry, sir. The guest who checked in is no longer authorized to use my card. Remove it from the file immediately. Charges after this moment are not approved. If the current balance requires settlement, the guests can provide their own payment method. Another pause, longer this time. Sir, the reservation was prepaid in part, but there are remaining authorizations for incidentals, excursions, and upgraded dining packages. If we remove your card, the guests will need to settle the account at property. That's fine. Shall I note cardholder dispute risk? Yes, I said. Please note that I did not authorize use of my payment method for individuals other than the named guest and her children. Certainly not additional adult guests. He grew even more polite. Understood, sir. We will require immediate alternative payment by morning. Thank you. Before hanging up, I added one more thing. And please email me the itemized folio. Of course. At 2:17 a.m., I sent one message to my fiancée. You're right. Croatia is for close family. You should have one of them pay for it. Then I put my phone face down and went upstairs. I slept better than I had in months. By 6:41 a.m., my phone was vibrating so hard on the nightstand it sounded angry. Elena. Again. Again. Then her mother. Then her sister. Then Elena. I let it ring until my son, Noah, knocked lightly on my bedroom door. Dad? I sat up. Yeah? Your phone is having a meltdown. That got a laugh out of me before I was fully awake. Seems accurate. He squinted at me. Are you okay? Kids know. They always know. Ask me that again tonight, I said. He nodded like he understood more than he should have at 12. Okay. When he left, I finally opened my messages. Elena, what did you do? Elena, are you serious right now? Elena, they are saying the card declined. Elena, Mom is at the desk. Elena, answer me. Then her mother, how dare you humiliate us in another country? Her sister, this is psychotic. The kids are upset. Then Elena again. If you had a problem, you should have spoken to me privately. That one almost made me smile. Privately, as opposed to publicly posting 16 photos of the vacation I paid for, with her ex playing father to her children while mine were invisible, I called her. She answered on the first ring. Aries, she snapped. I could hear echoes, lobby noise, somebody crying in the background. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with me? I asked. Yes, the resort says you removed your payment card. My mother is standing here like a criminal because of you. No, I said quietly. She's standing there because none of you thought to bring the man who was paying. Silence. Then she lowered her voice, which meant she was angry enough to remember witnesses existed. You are overreacting. I'm overreacting. It was a family trip. I laughed once without humor. Interesting definition. Since your ex made the cut, but my children didn't. That is not fair, she hissed. You know Luca is the father of my kids, so of course he'd be in some photos. In some photos, I repeated. Right. It's not what you think. Then what is it? Nothing. Just her breathing. I stood up and walked to the window. Morning light was spreading across the street. My daughter's bike was tipped over by the porch from yesterday. Real life. My life. The one I had apparently been financing while being edited out of hers. Elena, I said, did you invite your ex on the trip I booked? It was complicated. Yes or no? A beat. Yes, but did you tell me? No, because you'd be dramatic. Did you tell me my children weren't welcome because there was no room? That's not what I said. It is exactly what you said. She exhaled sharply. You don't understand co-parenting. No, I said. I understand theft, lies, and humiliation pretty well, though. That finally cracked her tone. Oh my God, theft? Seriously? You bought the trip for me. For you, I said. Not your ex-boyfriend reunion tour. Her voice turned cold. Luca is family. There it was. Not close family. Not co-parenting. Family. I felt something in me go still. And what am I? I asked. She didn't answer immediately, which was answer enough. Aries? No. Say it. You're making this ugly. Because it is ugly. Aries, please. The kids are here. My kids aren't. Another silence. Then, the one line that killed whatever had still been alive between us. You know this would have been easier if you didn't force everything to be so blended all the time. I actually pulled the phone away from my ear and looked at it. Like the device itself might explain how I had almost married this woman. I went back to the call. You used me to build stability around your life, I said. But when it came time to define family, you drew the circle around everyone except me and my children. That is not true. Then post the photos with my kids. They aren't there. Exactly. She started crying then, but it sounded tactical, controlled. The kind that arrives when outrage stops working. What do you want me to do? She whispered. I answered with complete honesty. I want you to solve your own mess. And I hung up. By 8 a.m., I had the folio in my inbox. 4 suites. Private boat charter, spa package, premium dining upgrades, additional adult occupancy charge, late booked airport pickup for 1 extra guest. Her ex hadn't just shown up for the kids, he was added to the reservation. Officially. That mattered. I printed the folio, set it on the kitchen table, and made breakfast for my children. My daughter Mira noticed first. Why are you making pancakes on a Thursday? Because life is unstable, I said. She grinned. Fair. Noah came in, looked at my face, looked at the pancakes, and said, Who messed up? I should have dodged the question. I know that now, but I was tired of children being expected to ignore what adults make obvious. Someone pretended family meant whatever benefited them, I said. He nodded slowly. That sounds like adult nonsense. Extremely. After I dropped them at school, I called my bank and filed a formal dispute for any unauthorized post-booking charges. I didn't reverse the original airfare or room deposits, already attached to my own planning mistake. I'm not petty about what I clearly chose to spend. But the upgrades, additional guest fees, excursions, and incidentals? No chance. Then I called my brother, Dorian. He picked up with, Why do I have 6 missed calls from Elena's mother? I sat in my car outside the office parking lot and laughed for real this time. How attached are you to peace today? Not remotely. Talk. So I told him everything. The post, the comment, the reply, the ex, the card, the resort. When I finished, he let out a low whistle. Wow. No. I mean wow. She really looked at a man who works orbital stress models for launch systems and thought he wouldn't notice a payload swap. I shut my eyes. That may be the nerdiest way anyone has ever validated me. It's accurate, he said. What are you doing now? I don't know yet. Yes, you do. He was right. I drove to the house Elena had been half living in for the past year. Mine, technically. She always called it ours, but the deed, the mortgage, the utilities, the insurance, the renovations, the furniture outside of a few decorative pieces. Those were mine. I didn't throw her things out on the lawn. I didn't change the locks while she was abroad. I didn't scream. I didn't break anything. I packed, carefully. Every item she had brought into my life went into labeled boxes. Clothes, cosmetics, framed photos, shoes by color, because I'm not cruel. Even the ceramic bowl she once said was handmade, even though I was pretty sure it came from an overpriced home goods store. In the closet, behind a row of dresses, I found an envelope with backup printouts, reservation confirmations. Some had handwritten notes. Ask Luca if these dates work. Need one more adult transfer. Aries can keep his kids this week anyway. I sat on the floor and read that last line twice. Aries can keep his kids this week anyway. Not his children have plans. Not let's find another time for everyone. Not I feel guilty excluding them. Just logistics. Like my children were scheduling debris to route around. I photographed every page. Then I found the engagement folder, venue shortlist, catering notes, guest list draft. Under family table, she had written Mom, Tia, Luca, kids. My name was under another section. Aries plus maybe his two. Maybe his two. Maybe. I didn't cry. I wish I could say I did. Crying would have meant the pain had somewhere to go. Instead, I stood up and finished packing. At noon, Elena's mother called again. I answered this time. You have embarrassed my daughter, she began. No, I said. Your daughter embarrassed herself. I simply stopped sponsoring it. How can you be so heartless? The children are confused. My children have been confused for months. That stopped her. Then she changed tactics. You know Luca can't afford this kind of thing. I almost dropped the phone from the sheer honesty of that sentence. There it is, I said. What? The truth. What truth? You all assumed I'd pay because I always pay. She sputtered. That is not fair. It's precise. Her voice sharpened. Elena deserves support. Elena deserves consequences. I hung up on her too. By evening, Elena had posted again. The vacation photos were gone. In their place, a black screen on her story with white text. Some people weaponize money when they don't get emotional control. I stared at that for a long moment. Then I posted once in my life a photo of 2 backpacks by the front door, mine and my kids. Caption: took my close family for ice cream instead. That was all. I did not tag her. I did not mention Croatia. I did not explain. The people who mattered understood immediately. The ones who didn't were free to invent something flattering for themselves. That night, Elena finally video called. I answered because I wanted to see her face when she realized the old version of me was gone. She looked beautiful and furious, which had always been a dangerous combination for me. Not anymore. You're really doing this, she said. I am. Over one post. Over the truth the post exposed. You're punishing me. I'm protecting myself. You could have talked to me. I tried. You kept editing reality. Her eyes narrowed. What did you do at the house? I packed your things. She went white. You what? You heard me. You had no right. I had every right. We're engaged. Were. She just stared. Sometimes people don't react loudly when the ground drops under them. Sometimes they go silent because for the first time, they understand gravity applies to them too. You're ending this? She said finally. Yes. Because Luca came on a trip? Because you made him family and made my children optional. It wasn't like that. I found the notes, Elena. That changed everything. What notes? The reservation printouts. The wedding folder. Aries can keep his kids this week anyway. Aries and maybe his 2. She blinked. Once, twice. Then she looked away. That was worse than any denial. I leaned forward. You were going to let me marry into a life where my children were permanent accessories. No, yes. You don't understand how hard blending is. Blending is hard, I said. Erasing is easy. You chose easy. She started crying for real that time. Messy, angry, humiliated tears. I love you, she said. Maybe she believed that. Maybe in her own way she did. But love that requires your children to shrink so someone else's comfort can expand is not love I'm willing to live on. I loved who I thought you were, I said. That man paid for Croatia. Then I ended the call. The fallout was uglier than the breakup. Her sister posted vague things about narcissistic men and financial abuse. Her mother told mutual friends I had stranded women and children overseas. No one mentioned the able-bodied ex-boyfriend who had apparently been close enough family to sunbathe, but not close enough to open his wallet. Then something unexpected happened. Luca called me. I almost didn't answer, but I did. His voice was tired. I'm not calling to fight. Then, why are you calling? A long exhale. Airport sounds in the background. Because I'm at Split Airport with 2 exhausted kids. Elena's mother is melting down at a coffee stand, and Elena is screaming at her sister over money she doesn't have. And I just paid for the hotel balance and changed my flight to get the kids home. I said nothing. He continued. I didn't know you booked all of it. You're telling me that after being added to the reservation? Elena said her bonus covered most of it, and you handled points or something on the flights. I knew you helped. I didn't know she lied. For a moment, I believed him. Maybe because he sounded embarrassed, not defensive. Maybe because liars usually volunteer less. I'm not your problem anymore, I said. I know. He paused. For what it's worth, your kids should have been there too. That hurt more than if he'd insulted me, because even the man I was supposed to hate could see what she'd done. Take care of your children, I said. I will. Then, more quietly, you should take care of yours too. She doesn't get it. When the call ended, I sat in the dark kitchen for a long time. Noah came downstairs for water and found me there. You look like you're solving something impossible, he said. I looked at him. At the same serious eyes I'd seen in the mirror since I was his age. Not impossible, I said. Just overdue. He filled his glass. Is she coming back? No. He nodded once, as if a piece had clicked into place. Okay, he said. Mira didn't like how she talked about us anyway. I felt my chest tighten. What do you mean? He hesitated, then shrugged in that brutal way children do when they've normalized something they shouldn't have. Sometimes, she said, we were complicated. After he went upstairs, I stood in the kitchen with both hands braced on the counter and let the full weight of that land. Complicated. My children were complicated. Her ex was family. That was it. That was the cleanest equation I was ever going to get. Over the next week, I canceled the venue tour we were supposed to attend, returned the ring to the jeweler under the store's buyback policy, transferred her boxes to a climate-controlled storage unit, prepaid for 30 days, and emailed her the access code. No speeches, no begging, no second round. Just systems. Clean separation, controlled descent. At work, I threw myself into a satellite integration review and spent 12 straight hours thinking about tolerances, load paths, and failure trees. It was a relief. Machines do what they are designed to do. When they fail, the cause exists. Human beings wrap theirs in captions and curated photos. A week later, Elena sent one final message. I never thought you'd choose pride over us. I looked at it for a long time before replying. I chose my children over being tolerated in your version of family. Learn the difference. Then I blocked her. Months later, when summer had turned and the sting stopped arriving first thing in the morning, I took Noah and Mira on the trip I should have booked from the start. Not Croatia. Better. A quiet island in Greece, with no audience, no performance, no close family captions. Just us. My daughter buried my feet in sand and declared me structurally compromised. My son learned to paddleboard and pretended not to care when he got good at it. We ate badly and laughed a lot and took photos that never needed to prove anything. On the last night, Mira curled against my shoulder and asked, "Are we your close family?" I kissed the top of her head. "No," I said. She looked up, confused. "You're my real family." That was the truth. And unlike Croatia, I didn't need 16 photos to prove it.